Yo, what up? Gonna try this game. Uh,
I did fine.
this guy. Why is he? No, no, no. I don't know if I should do his story character.
Excellent
Probably do a
draft
story
for the fun
character.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
Alright, I'm playing on normal. Maybe this guy? The mutton chops? I guess I can customize it. Headbutt people. I actually kind of like that. Oh my gosh. Can I get a silver mouth? Oh my god. This is kind of cool. Can't get a... Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. That doesn't make too much sense. What about a mustache?
I'll see you destroyed. I'll mention it.
A new challenge for me. Think success is the only outcome I accept.
Your existence is naught but ashes.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Now that's interesting.
Macro cannons, volley!
It's either this, but I also kind of liked this one too. And you can get hair with this one, and it doesn't look terrible. Alright, cool. I'm cool with this one. Death World. Alright, so you get a bunch of strength, toughness, and agility. So if you're going to be like a fighter, you lose intelligence and fellowship. I want to be a smart character. So you lose strength, but you gain... That's crazy. Agility, fellowship, intelligence, toughness. Perception and willpower. Voidborn. Willpower and intelligence. We lose some strength. Ballistics. Weapon skill, fellowship, portion. Of intelligence, fellowship, persuasion. Oh, it's like this sounds cool. Wait, psychic powers? Okay. A healer. I mean, this sounds good. The Sanctic. So this is like mind control shit. Between these two. Oh no, these two. I think I just want to shoot lasers and fire. Persuasion, coercion. Intelligence and perception. Let's do operative. This seems good. It's based on the stuff that we want to stack anyway. Max out int willpower and perception. The rest with it like it seems fine. Okay. We're fire. Okay. So we're a pyromancer. We're like all in on intelligence stat and willpower and perception. Alright. I mean, that's actually fine. This will probably be pretty fun, I think. I like their other game.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Is the whole thing voiced? That's gonna be pretty sick, actually. Have we met?
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whisper. In the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. My regards, Master. Or should I say, von Valencias, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of Her Ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty. I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say, that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities. Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis at the time when the first rogue traders entered the Gold Emperor's service, and therefore, it is sacrosanct. There is, and you will meet him soon enough. So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium, but from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible. But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
A new challenge for me? I'll lay claim to the stars. Follow my lead!
One of the von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening?
Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
too easily. Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me.
To the heretics!
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
None shall stand in my way.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad? While you are considering your answer, Edelthrad, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear...
What is this? Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion?
I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. This is the second candidate for the title of my successor. Step forward. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Quintorus expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions. metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Thorough, but presumptuous. It took me a great deal to find one psyker who could serve me well for many.
Sanctioned psychers are rare and valuable instruments of the Golden Throne. Or do you suggest that we use heretics, who are an offense to the God Emperor's light? It would be rather careless of you to utter such profanity in the presence of his faithful servants. Even among his flock, not all are of a piece.
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my seat...
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here? You have seeded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute... My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planet... Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have... Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake. His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers, and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand that... for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time. Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I do. In that case, I shall...
Annihilate them!
All of you will bleed! Don't touch me!
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Reduced to dust! One fewer target! Weapon at the ready. Die!
I serve the ruinous powers!
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Death to non-believers!
Nothing I can't... You didn't stand a chance!
Out of my way!
I've suffered
Chaos
worse.
guides me!
My ears are ringing. I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
I took care of this one.
My faith strengthens me! To the glory of the Imperium! Death to the weak! Chaos guides me!
Suits my purposes. Never wavered in the face of adversity.
this. Absolutely not.
I can handle this.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer Prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them. Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
I won't tolerate weakness. A new challenge for me?
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineering regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are in... First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about...
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance. And if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require... Not everything in your power. You will do as I...
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. I see you have quickly earned Lady Theodora's trust, if she is already sharing her closely guarded... Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful. How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel. An ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel. Did you forget something? I...
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Escort the child of the house to safety. Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Voxcast frequencies disrupted.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency is middle and upper deck.
Follow my lead! Victory awaits. I won't tolerate weakness.
It's about time. A new challenge for me. I'll lay claim to the stars.
Run, fools, or fall! Master! What? Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
What?
Oh, holy God, Emperor! I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain. Saints' blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop... You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit.
Follow my lead.
You are injured. I must dress your wounds before we go any further. We are the spearhead of the Imperium. You are injured. I must dress your wounds before we go any further.
Now, well,
That is a noticeable improvement. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, Navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost. Absolutely. The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. What? Close ranks!
Come to chaos! I serve the ruinous powers! Death to non-believers! Out of my way!
already done. Not a problem for me.
Chaos guides me. Your blood will flow!
Pain and duty go hand in hand. I will do my duty.
One fewer target. Chaos guides me.
Brace yourself, Abelard!
Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Victory awaits. We shall prevail.
threshold of the blinded guide, doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abela, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of her ladyship.
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate, to die in the waves of the immaterial. The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you, Von Valancius, are a sorcerer too, just like the other one.
Officers frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrad. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other end...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrad's like me and hasn't...
Blast it. You're right.
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle deck. Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive. Your doom has been foretold. But of course. Was farewell.
Here we go.
Enjoy your luck while you still draw breath. Already done. Suits my purpose.
That's not the Seneschal's job. Follow my lead. Indeed. I took care of this one.
I bring ruin. On it. Be gone.
Out of my way.
All too easy.
My place is at the fore. At your beck and call. It will be done.
Anything else?
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead. But the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Your time is short. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the transformation. translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the...
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer.